All right, so like I said, we do have a almost a full scan here this morning. So we've got a lot of stocks that do have some potential. You know, the Canadian wheat stocks are still on there. TLRY, CGC, CRON. They're selling off now. I don't have any shares of these to short. Well, I could probably locate some, or I could, get some between Speed Trader and IB. I just haven't looked. But I'm not looking to trade those anyway. But they're still, this is like every day this week, they've been on the scan. So they've offered some opportunity. I think TLRY reported earnings yesterday, so it was definitely in play. All right, so let's go back to DLTR. This one again put in a nice little move here under VWAP. From 89.50s down to 88.50s. So you had a point move here off the VWAP. So that would have been a nice pre-market trade. Just no stress. This wasn't a nice move I was looking at. But like I said, once I get the account up a little bit, I can look at some pre-market trades. But right now, I can't stand the risk. That's one of the issues with trading extremely small size. But you see, we've got a good window here. 91, 81, 87, 82. There's a nice window in here. Let's see. This could be, this looks like we had some support through here. So that window isn't as huge, but still decent. Still decent. So this would be one worth watching. All right. Let's see. PDCO is another one on earnings. This one has been moving pretty good. We have got down to a 52-week low. We're chopping a little bit now. But this, I love 52-week lows, 52-week highs when they cooperate. I would like to see this thing recover today and make a run back up. But either way, if it doesn't, even if it doesn't recover, we got a good, it's got a good window to the downside here. The ATR on this is a little low. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about, meaning, we may run into support quicker than I would like to, but still worth putting it on watch. It does have good potential. These stocks that out of the blue gap down and make a 52-week low, Typically, these recover some. They don't make a 52-week low and then continue to sell off. But we'll see. You know, odds are that it's going to bounce and recover, but you know, we'll see. It may bounce and run back into the previous 52-week low. This could act as resistance. If it does, then we can look for a move back down. But if it does, if it claims this, you know, look for it to recover some today. See, ANF, another one on earnings. Now, for a minute, I had a good bead on these retail stocks. You know, they were behaving very predictable, but so far they haven't been doing worth 2 cents. They haven't been really predictable. I'm not trying to remove. Okay. So we're good there. I just can't see when we get everything jumbled together. It makes it hard for me to see. With all of these moving averages converging on the same spot. So we have got down here. Alright, so I always look at the daily chart first. The daily chart's going to kind of give me an idea of the windows this thing can move in. I remember we talked about it yesterday. Those of you that were here for the class or that you were able to watch it, you know, this is what we were talking about. You know, looking at longer time frames. This is going to give me an idea of what it's done in the past and where, you know, past support and resistance levels are. And this is what helps me build my trade plan. It lets me know the windows of opportunity. You know, every time it hits support or resistance, that's going to be a potential profit target for me. Or, you know, if it's an ideal point where we may reverse or we may get a bounce. So I'm always looking to take profit at these levels, because, you know, one of the questions we get from newer traders is, you know, if I get in, but where do I need to take profit? You know, when do I need to get out of the trade? And yeah, believe it or not, you have people taking trades without any formal education whatsoever. You know, they don't know when to stop out. They don't know where to take trades, because you can just open a trading account, and then if you figure out how to click the button, you can get in the trade. Now, I've even had people email me, you know, saying this is an emergency. I'm in short. I don't know how to get out. You know, how do I get out of a short position? But this is how, you know, using these levels, this is how I plan my exits. So ANF does look pretty decent. It's sitting on VWAP right now. It's sitting on VWAP, but we've got, it's pretty tight. In here we've got the lower deviation band sitting just under this 23.73 level, which is right around the $0.25 mark. But with volume, this thing can open up at the open, so it does have potential to the downside. The one thing that I have noticed, and I know you guys kind of have seen it too, in the afternoons, you see stocks move above and then below. It's like these levels, these moving averages don't mean a thing. Before, you would see stocks react off these moving averages. But now you're seeing market makers move these through moving averages, trying to bait people in, going, one way or the other. And a prime example was, what was that stock yesterday? EXPR. If you look at, let me get this. See if I can find that chart now. Yeah, if you look at EXPR, look at what it did yesterday. Let me load the study set. Alright, so you look at what it did yesterday. We pushed through these, got to the VWAP, couldn't hold it. Here we bait shorts in. Everybody looking to short this, and then it recovers, runs back through all of these moving averages again. It grinded its way all the way back up. So everybody that was short, that was looking for this to roll back over, market makers ate them up. And, we're seeing this over and over and over again. Where we get this big sell-off, it sold off on earnings. It looked good. And here we're looking for, okay, great. We had the reversal here, pulled back the VWAP, we rejected it, get through these moving averages, jump short. And market makers say, aha, gotcha. And even the people that are waiting for the second tap, I like to wait for this. If it gets through VWAP, I like to wait for it to go back and test again and fail. Here's the test again. Here's a fail. We made a lower low, which would trigger more shorts getting in. And that was it. So we're seeing more and more of that happen, later on in the day. That's why you got to get the early moves. And we're not seeing a whole lot of continuation. You get in on the right direction, yeah, you can just kind of hold it. But how many people, held it after this pullback? If you got long on the bounce, how many held it after this pullback? Not many people. So ANF, we can watch. Not sure how much this is going to have in it. Just depends on which direction it picks to go. DG, Dollar General, pretty much going to follow DLTR. Both of these may kind of mirror each other at some point. This one is around, 104. we have a nice window that it's working in right now. Let's see, 104.27 is going to be the 20-day here. And that's where it's sitting right now. It's kind of trading sideways on this 20-day moving average on the daily. But does have potential. Alright, CIEN. This one doesn't really have much of an ATR. It's less than 50 cents. So, and we've got a full watch list today. So I'm not going to even entertain it. On a day when we don't have much, I would probably go through it and take a look at it. This KTWO, this one doesn't have earnings until tomorrow, but it's part of a buyout, so we're not touching it. What's up with REIS? That's not a buyout either. I mean, that's not earnings on earnings either. All right, that's on the buyout. Oh, that's the one that's okay. So that's on the buyout as well. And SIG is on earnings. It's the last stock that we have on earnings, which is good because I have run out of charts. So SIG, we've got a nice gap up here. Blow this up. Here's where we're running into. Okay, so we're running into this resistance here right now, which is, right through here. So you can see how, I don't even have to look at the 5-minute. I'm just marking the support and resistance that I see on the daily chart. And look how perfectly it lines up with intraday. It's just a simple method, and it typically works out perfectly. Now, obviously, you get market makers or somebody that wants to move a stock. These levels aren't going to really make much difference, if they put their mind to it. But, 80% of the time, this is going to work. So we got some up here. Looks like that's where we'll run into potentially some resistance if we continue to push up. All right, so we've got, nice windows here. And, going into the open, depending on where these stocks are, that's when I'll start building my trade plan. Right now, it doesn't make sense to start doing it because you really don't know where it's going to go in the next 30 minutes. Really, the next 15 minutes is going to tell me more about where we may be going versus, what it's done all pre-market. And so between 9 and 9:30 is when I'm watching these and, determining, where would be a good place to, put my profit targets if I enter. Really, your profit targets are going to be determined by really where your entry price is. As you get closer to entering, then you'll know what's targets you're going to be hitting. So right now, if I try to do that, I'd just be pissing in the wind. So that's why I tend to wait. And that's why if somebody asks me, SIG long, I don't know. Yeah, it looks long, but I don't know what's going to happen going into the open. Who knows? Obviously, this is a bullish setup here. But who knows where it's going to go. So DLTR, PDCO, ANF, DIG, and SIG. Those are the ones that I have on watch today. So now we can sit back, watch these going into the open, see if we can pick the right one that's gonna make us some money today.